Hi there, this is Matt with the Why We Horror podcast. This week we are covering the film Critters. My name is Matt, like I said, and I've been asking what bounty hunter form would you take? I would take the form of, I don't know, Robert Downey Jr., because he would be fun. Who goes next?
All right, I'm Mike. I would take the form of Michael Sarah, particularly from This Is the End. I think that would be the perfect version with that sweet
Absolutely
windbreaker.
knew it.
I'm Alex. I would pick Buster Keaton. I'd hopefully gain some of his physical comedic prowess.
Fabulous.
I'm Jenna, and I would pick Arnie from Terminator because I'd be a giant, big, buff killing machine. And when I think bounty hunter, my mind immediately goes to Terminator.
See, I
I
think
give
Michael
that a
Sarah.
thumbs up. Um,
He's like the exact opposite of me physically, so I think that would be really fun too, just to experience.
I feel that it must be fun being a giant Austrian. I want to change my answer to Bruce Campbell. I don't know how I didn't say that.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
a good
All right.
answer.
Anyway, the film we're covering this time is the 1986 cult classic Critters, directed by Stephen Herek, who went on to direct Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and The Mighty Ducks. Written by Domonic Muir and with a screenplay by Moore and Stephen Herek, as well as additional scenes uncredited but written by Don Opper, who plays Charlie the Drunk in the series. Starring D. Wallace Stone, M. Emmett Walsh, Billy Green Bush, Scott Grimes, Nadine Vandervelde, Don Opper, Terrence Mann, and Billy Zane. Cinematography by Tim Suhrstedt. Score by David Newman. He's one of my favorite composers. He did the excellent score for Galaxy Quest, but he also scored my favorite movie of all time, Serenity. And edited by Larry Bock. Critters is about a cluster of aliens who break out of a prison planet, leading to a space bounty hunters who hunt them down as Earthlings kind of get caught in the crossfire. What did we think of Critters?
I can
yeah,
go
I
first,
didn't
I
like
guess.
it.
We both at the exact same time. No, you please.
Infinite
Go
pause
first.
is all I needed to hear, but go ahead. Sandra.
So yeah, I'll go first. Sorry to take over here. No, I had to watch this twice. I fell asleep before we left the asteroid. And I was like, "Oh God, kill me!" I was like, "Oh no!" And I just thought, when does the critters start being interesting? And it took a very, very long time to get there for me. Didn't care for it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Who's
This was a
next?
solid middle of the road for me. Like I I might have some lukewarm critters opinions here. I not to get ahead, but I did watch the second one. I enjoyed that way more. Um, and it was more of what I was expecting this one to be, but it was a little bit not enough of anything. It wasn't super campy. It was just like a little bit campy. It wasn't like at the where you're on the edge of your seat and trying to find out what's going to happen. It had a little bit of tension, but not a lot. It had a little bit of humor, but not a lot, and it was kind of just doing so many different things at once, all kind of lukewarm. That for me it didn't knock it out of the park. And I remembered I had seen this movie as a kid, but I remembered like nothing about it other than vague memories of like the noises that the critters make and that what they look like and that they roll around, which was my favorite part again this time. I absolutely love how they're just like little balls of fur that squeak when they roll, and then occasionally they like swear at each other, and those are absolutely the best parts of this movie. Just the little subtitle critters commentary. And I also don't know if this was intentional, but I thought it was unintentionally funny how like incompetent the bounty hunters were in the first movie. They really just they look so cool and they show up and you think that they're gonna start kicking ass and like get rid of these critters, and they really don't do much until the very end of the movie. And I would argue that really they don't do anything. The kid kind of saves the day, and then they undo what the critters have done.
Well, I
Those
can
are
talk
my
about the bounty hunters for a month after once we get towards it, so we can definitely visit
We're going to
that.
touch on the bounty hunters pretty hardcore. Alex, what did you think?
I think I can completely understand Jenna's take there. I to mostly agree with it, but I was pleasantly surprised by like the direction and the effects. I thought this was going to be like way worse looking. So throughout the movie, I was just kind of entertained by the visuals, even though I think the rest of it's kind of just typical. I really liked the start, but as it went on, it kind of lost me more and more. I think because it didn't choose to go in either like a horror or campy direction fully.
That's fair. I like this movie. So this is one that back in the video store days, the VHS days, I used to rent this one kind of constantly. One and two were on a kind of rotation when I went to the video store when I was like sub seven. And I think this is like one of those perfect primer movies to get a kid ready to be into horror. But as an adult, when you revisit it, it's kind of just good enough to be like a solid movie watch. But it's also like I'm sitting there. I watched it a couple of times too, and I was like, how did this entertain me when I was a kid? Because it takes like half the movie before the critters
Mhm.
do anything. Um, but I think I was just so transfixed with the critters and I don't know the bounty hunters. But I dug it. As an adult, I also appreciate that. Like I'm a big Star Trek guy now, and I feel like they just watched the Trouble with Tribbles
The
episode.
triples.
What if the Tribbles were fucking terrifying monsters?
Isn't that one sheriff in Star Trek?
Yeah, I didn't realize
Oh,
that
yeah.
until like last night. He's Neelix in Voyager, um, who I hate. I despise Neelix. So
You
I
must have
guess
loved him
I'm
in this
glad he
movie.
was the first to go. That dude is a good actor. His character is just irritating, and apparently 100% of the things I've seen him in. um, uh, all right. Well, I want to touch on some interesting analytical themes and talking for critters.
Let's
All
go.
right. So it fascinates me that this is a intergalactic cops and robbers like story where the farm family has no bearing on the plot, yet we're watching it through their eyes.
I
Mhm.
know. I know.
um,
It's like, here's Sunday afternoon at the farm. Oh, look at the critters showed up. Oh, here comes the bounty hunters.
like the bounty hunters have the infinitely more interesting story,
Mhm.
Oh,
right? Like,
absolutely.
and I want to watch a whole movie. Like, first of all, I don't know how the critters themselves became the like linchpin of the franchise and is the thing that like drives the franchise forward. How the hell was it not the bounty hunters who are far more interesting concept?
Mhm.
Um, like that baffles me as an adult, but as a kid, I was 100% in it for the critters. Um, but
Critters must have
yeah,
cost some money to make, and so they had to keep reusing them in all the movies.
We already have the puppets, you
yeah,
know.
The bounty hunters, that's just some guy in a red coat. These critters cost at least $1 to make each one. You only get a $6 budget. You can't go any higher than that.
just wait for the fun facts and trivia about how they made their critters. It's great.
Oh.
But yeah, so I found the bounty hunters of it all to be far more interesting than the farm family. But I will say this: the farm family sells it because the actors who play the characters, particularly with Scott Grimes, who's the young kid, uh, is so good that it's kind of all is forgiven with following the Bland family.
Mhm.
And it's the kind of family that I'm like, ugh, we've gotten far away from this traditional role garbage. Like we need to. The
Mhm.
wife's got her like special apron and her special cleaning outfit, and he's got a. I was like, oh, I don't like that. I'm
Yeah.
glad we moved on.
This is 4 years removed from E.T., and I love Dee Wallace's character in E.T. as the mom, and how like a strong, independent woman she was in that, and to go from that to this is
Where
bananas.
she just
She does
is screaming the whole time. Yeah.
so good
Not
in
using
it.
the gun in any way other than to poke stuff, and with the wrong end.
She knocks one of the critters away, though.
No, but she's like, I can't shoot it. And it's like, well, okay. Then the kid just opens the door and blasts. With the dad or whatever. But
Yeah, that's like one of the funniest moments of the movie, though.
yeah,
I
I
did.
agree.
I thought that was funny too. All right. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to say about bounty hunters?
I like
I-
that. Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I absolutely love that the one bounty hunter watches the hair metal band on TV and immediately changes into that guy. And I also love that we have an original song that just shows up in that one scene and that's it. That was so delightful.
That song at first was annoying, but weirdly kind of slaps every time you hear it again.
Well,
Yeah.
that song comes in 3 times. It comes in when he watches it to turn into him. The mom is watching the music video at the
Oh,
house
that's
and
right.
gets disgusted and turns it off. And the son has it on the radio when he puts the cassette in.
That's
So
right. Oh,
they're a famous band, all right? Clearly famous enough that there people are watching this video. Nobody recognizes this guy. Let's turn into the most famous man on earth.
The only one who recognizes him is the kid that gets in the car with him, and he's like, "Hey, are you Johnny Steele?"
If the kid didn't recognize him, that'd be crazy. As a
I swear there's someone else at like a bar when they're going to the church, someone recognizes them. Granted, with his level of popularity, you think Moore would still recognize him, but I think there's still another person who.
They're like him and Charlie and the other guy, and
Yeah.
random dude. It's like, what do you mean for random dude? Everybody in the whole world should know Johnny Steele, okay? And his most popular song that I don't know the words to.
Mike, you were going to say something about the bounty hunters.
So there was 2 little things. I liked. So I kind of wanted to, when I was watching like the effects, I was like, how are they doing this? And I liked the like reversing. They were reversing, like melting that mask basically to make the effect of
that was great.
Turning into the guy, and I thought that was pretty cool. And that's an interesting way to transform. The other guy does not transform like that.
No.
And he's like,
never see it again in the
nothing
franchise.
picks me or whatever. Nothing's taking me.
Nothing.
So like this guy can't control it. He just like looks at somebody and goes, I guess I have to be him now. Like he can't not turn into people constantly.
I feel like he had an identity crisis.
Yeah.
Their names, by the way, are Ugg and Lee. So
he loved Charlie though. He didn't want to turn into anybody but Charlie after that.
Yeah, that's fair. I also wanted to briefly talk about the critters. I thought that the effects for them were really cool. I like the idea that they're like growing and eating. They're intelligent beings in that they can like steal a spaceship and intergalactically
They're like
travel.
Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
I
Yes.
was thinking the exact same.
Do you think that's where they got the idea?
Yeah, that's where the critters got it from Lilo and Stitch. Yeah,
No, the other way.
time traveled. Yeah.
I also liked how they just, for no reason other than they're bastards, they blow up the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. It was like,
And then they laugh about it.
Yeah.
They're just like, I got him.
It's beautiful. All right, so moving on from the intergalactic cops and robbers, we have. I want to talk about the main character of this movie, Bradley Brown, who is a troubled boy. He is lucky that this critter outlet came about because that boy had all the warning signs of a school shooter.
No, he did have like a moral compass because he didn't let Charlie get fired for shooting at his sister with a slingshot. So he did have like empathy.
I guess you're right.
Toward one
Homer's just
person.
building bombs in his bedroom.
Well, that had to pay off at the end, obviously. Couldn't have that last for so long. The slingshot never comes back, but that's okay.
Yeah,
True.
he made such a point of it too.
That's
I
because
was
it's the
waiting
red
for it.
herring. The bombs were the real factor. And he makes that huge one early in the movie.
Yeah,
Puts it in his pocket. And then just we forget about it for the next hour.
yeah. Does anybody else want to talk about Brad?
He had empathy for the cat as well.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
I'm glad that Chewie did survive.
Yeah.
It could go either way in a movie like this, and thankfully.
Yeah, certainly. In
So,
the second one, there's a dog that gets eaten. So.
no, not a dog. Was it John Wick's dog? Brad was gonna go blow up his sister and the boyfriend, right? That's
Yeah.
the only option that was happening there. Like,
He was spying on them, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, he was gonna throw that giant freaking bomb in there and kill them. And then the dad would go out there.
Yeah, as I say, like,
Bloodlust was satisfied with critters.
familiar relationships do be like that.
He crawls out of the window of his room, and instead of going like on top of his parents' windows, like his arch, he hides by because he has to creep in front of the window. Otherwise, like, you're already creeping this hard. You can go over it and just go around. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand this kid's logic. He can make bombs, but he can't make a plan. But he's a hero, so.
that's fair. He's a really good actor. He went on to star in the latter half, the back half of VR, as well as that Star Trek almost show. What was it, the Orville or whatever?
Orville, yep.
Seth MacFarlane. And he creeps up in things every once in a while. He's a good actor. And I always get a jolt when I see him. I'm like, oh, dude, he's the boy from Critters. That boy's now like 60. So whenever I watch these movies for the podcast, I try to figure out why we told this story in the first place. And for this one, this is kind of the ultimate boy to man wish fulfillment movie. And this is probably why it was a huge video hit of the era that it came out. Like, on a $1 million budget, it pulled in like 14 million. And in 1980s money, that's a lot of money. That's why we have as many sequels in quick succession as we got. I'm sure that's why I liked it a lot when I was young. I didn't think anything of Brad, the bomb artist. I
That
was
could have
just
been
like,
me.
dude, that dude's so cool. He's playing with firecrackers. That is straight up a bomb. But yeah, and like, you see him kind of grow to become the man of the house and the father relent and all that kind of stuff, and which is why I think family roles are so incredibly old and dated. But what do you guys think of that aspect of the movie? Had any of you seen this before? But I guess Jenna had seen it a long time ago.
Eons ago.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah. It definitely had the vibe of that time period of like PG-13 is new and we're going to try to make movies that are for like older kids, but they're not quite, the R-rated. So like Goonies, Gremlins is, I'm sure we're going to get in the Gremlins comparisons to open that can of worms, but like obviously very similar to Gremlins, but also like Goonies and those kind of like young kid is up against supernatural. Although this one, he's really kind of by himself. Like he has Charlie and his family, but he doesn't have like other kids that he's bouncing off of. So that I once I once I noticed it, it did stand out to me because that is something that a lot of these movies that you do have like at least two kids or like the group of kids and they're all like working together and they usually connive some way to get the parents out of the picture like the screenplay does. In this one the parents are like fully present, they're just either completely useless or they've been like incapacitated by um the little spikes on the critters. So it's kind of this weird dynamic where the like 10-year-old boy is the only one doing anything, including the bounty hunters who are like not helping at all. They just show up and cause more destruction, really. And like ultimately, he's the one that has to save everybody.
Well, if Charlie wasn't an
fairly certain
alcoholic,
that they're
he wouldn't have been able to save the day at the end.
That's true. Yeah, if you knew between the alcoholic and the little pyromaniac, they combined their strengths together to take down the
Make
spaceship.
Voltron.
the structure of this film is very Stranger Thingsy sans the friend group.
Yep.
But I mean, it is very much like you're seeing something otherworldly to be the catalyst of the event, and then you keep cutting back to the normal kids who are far more immersed in what's going on than even the people who were the catalyst know. And you keep like kind of intercutting that to the point where I'm sure that this is one of the films that kind of modeled that the early episodes of that show. Um, but yeah, I also did like how the bounty hunters were far more destructive than the critters themselves.
They can just reverse time or whatever that button does on their belt, so they can be as destructive as they want, apparently.
That was an alternate ending that didn't even show up on day one of the film's release. That happened on like some theaters got the ending that you all saw, which is what is classified as the actual ending. The other ending, the original ending, some exec at New Line saw and was like, "Well, this is too bleak." It literally ended with the house going boom, and then them finding the cat, and he was still alive. And then in the rubble, you saw the eggs, and then it was the end. So the family's house was just destroyed.
It's just the family looking very sad in front of their broken house. Yeah.
Yep, and that was the end of the movie.
I think this movie, like, so I kind of looked up at the end after I watched it because I was like, something's weird about this. It definitely was reshot. Like they had an original script and then they had to change it because it was too close to the Gremlins, and they were like, shoot. So
It's
like,
actually yes and no. We'll get into that.
didn't they write this first and then, or they say they did, and then they were like, oh no, now we got to redo some stuff.
Yeah, it was the first draft of this was written on notebook paper in 1979 when the writer was 19 years old. He wrote it in his bedroom, and it was his own wish fulfillment of how he wanted to like get away from home, kind of thing. And then they wrote another draft in 1982. I'll jump to that little section. Wrote another draft in 1982. That was very hard R. Multiple family members died, specifically the dad being one of them. But then Gremlins came out, and New Line was like, let's rewrite this like right after Gremlins to soften it and make it not R rated, but also because that film took a lot of flack for its almost R rating. And to make it less like Gremlins. And so they worked to try to make it its own thing, which I think they uniquely did, but I definitely see the Gremlins of it all. Which I guess can be the next talking point if we want to. This is classified as a Gremlins ripoff. and there was a lot of them that came out in the 80s. There was Ghoulies, Hobgoblins, Trolls, Munchies, if anybody remembers Munchies.
The girl in this is in that movie.
What was that?
I think April is in Munchies.
She is, yeah. I tried watching Munchies one time and I could not make it all the way through. That was awful. But of the Gremlin ripoffs, I think this is the best one. Although I have a deep, nurtured love for Ghoulies 2, which I will cover on this channel at some point. That movie's fucking fantastic. But yeah, I think if I were given an option to watch Gremlins or Critters, I would watch Critters 1 and 2, and I think 1 and 2 are better than Gremlins 1 and 2.
Don't know if I can agree with that one.
I know.
But I also have a soft spot for Gremlins because that's like a Christmas movie that my family watches every year or would watch every year around Christmas. Yeah, I definitely see the comparisons. I think what stood out in this one is Gremlins and a lot of the ripoffs have more of like a consistent goofy tone. Like the critters themselves or whatever creature it is are goofy. Like they're usually like destructive and like mischievous. And there's a little bit of that in this, like where they are messing around in the house. And obviously, like again, their little like subtitles are, like they're swearing at each other. And but the people that are the victims of the critters are taking it incredibly seriously. Like there's not a whole lot of like goofy kind of kills that you might expect like in a similar movie like Gremlins or again any of the ripoffs where like they might be kind of joke, like the characters would be joking with each other as they're like attacking these creatures. Like there's none of that. They're incredibly like terrified and on edge and taking this threat incredibly seriously the whole time. So there's like that a little bit of, I wouldn't say like mismatch, but it's not that consistent like, oh, this is a fun goofy. Like the critters do actually pose a serious threat and they do kill people. Not a ton, but they killed at least 2 people in this movie. Yeah. And they're shooting their little spikes out at people, and when they do that, it incapacitates you. So like it feels like there's an actual danger, whereas with some of these other like critter type, I keep saying critters because creature, little goblin-y creature type movies, the creatures themselves aren't usually as much of a threat. Like you can't really see them posing as much harm. Whereas with the critters, it's like, yeah, these guys are gonna try and eat you, and they might succeed. Especially if you're Billy Zane in the barn. Rest in peace.
The worst part about that barn scene is that, well, there's 2 worst parts. The girl drives literally 3 feet away from the house as if nobody would notice the car was there.
Yeah.
And then Billy Zane is allergic to hay, so like, okay, that should have been his first sign. Okay, maybe don't go in the barn. Second sign, he's like, what if your dad catches us? And he's like kind of trying to escape, and the girl's like, nah, he never comes outside. And it's like, guy had 2 chances. Third strike, he's out. He gets murdered. He's the only one in the family that dies because he just couldn't take the signs. You know what I mean?
No.
I find it amusing how horned up she must have been to look past the snot nose that man must have been having with like
all the hay.
He tried telling her no in the car. Okay. Like she's like, I'm not having it. I'm making you have to climb up this ladder to get your keys to leave, and now that you're up here, you're incapacitated from everything. So now you're mine, and you will die. Either I'm gonna kill you, or these critters are gonna kill you. The whole family is a bunch of psychopaths.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
This is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The critters show up and kind of ruin it for him.
Didn't the dad threaten to strip his son's skin off and hang the bones up to dry because he missed the bus?
Yeah.
And that's what happened to his last workers. Charlie's the most recent worker because the other ones have been skinned alive.
Yeah.
Put on his nice coat.
You're right. They are.
This is the real movie. We got to make a movie where the creatures come and you're like, think it's like they're going to be killers in a house, but then aliens show up. Let's get it going here.
I
I love that.
I would watch it. I wanted to talk about Charlie because I think this film offers that character a weird amount of grace. Like he's the town drunk who ends up being right, and then throughout the franchise goes on this journey where he kind of becomes the ultimate hero. Like he's completely sober by the second installment and one of the bounty hunters, and like he's still a bumbling doof, but uh, I thought that was kind of weirdly progressive for this era.
Well, the town is like Andy Griffith's show. Okay, like the drunk comes in and they let him out in the morning and like, oh, see you tomorrow, Frank. Like, you know what I mean? So like they're just like, oh, here he comes again. And he was right, but like because of an accident. It's because his teeth weren't telling him the aliens were coming. They just ended up showing up. Like he just got lucky that time.
No, didn't his teeth lead him to the mothership at the end? He was like, I hear the signals.
Sure. Yeah. Things happened. But then things happened, okay? You didn't see the giant glowing spaceship in the field? My teeth were telling me my eyes. Like, come on. Because clearly the dad and the kid didn't see it when the cow was 6 inches away from the spaceship.
It is oddly close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do have a lot of grace.
I was gonna say, it kind of reminded me a lot of like Tremors was a big like feeling I got, especially with how it goes on with the future, like with how it just endless sequels and following the secondary character as it comes like as he kind of becomes the protagonist throughout the series.
Yeah, sort of. So yeah, Tremors is a good comparison because I think they have a lot of similar vibes. However, Tremors is infinitely better than this movie.
Definitely agree.
But the sequels I think are inferior in a lot of ways to a lot of the Critters sequels, and I don't have like a ton of high praise for the Critters sequels. We're gonna get into that pretty soon, but yeah, Charlie. Well, I guess let's get into that now. So we're gonna do a deep dive on the sequels. Who here has seen any of the sequels? Jenna's seen the second one. Anybody else?
Watch the second one.
Okay. I'm going to get into the sequels and then spoil some of them because I can't not, and I need to. Nobody else has seen these, and I have been going crazy.
You've been meaning to watch Critters for the last like 40 years. This is your last.
I
Oh, your audio just.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you now, then.
No, you're back. You're back.
Okay. Yeah. I watched the entire franchise in the past 2 weeks. And so the second one was another one that I rented a lot back when it came out initially. I really like it. I think it takes the best parts of Critters and amplifies them. And so it's a lot funnier, a lot edgier. The kills are a little more intense. There's a giant critter ball where all the critters form a giant ball that starts rolling around the city and just like eating the people as it goes over them. It's fabulous.
That was great.
It's so good.
It runs over a guy, he goes down screaming, and then it cuts to a little red skeleton in the ground. It was chef's kiss.
The second one's funnier, like on purpose. They play with the bounty hunter, and Lee still can't figure out what he wants to look like, and at a certain point sees a Playboy and turns into a Playboy playmate, completely bursting out of their clothes to show like rare, relatively graphic and close-up nudity for a PG-13 movie. Complete with the staple still in their stomach
in the center fold.
From the center fold of the page. So then she plucks off the staple. That was a chef's kiss moment as well.
That was good.
But then the next person she meets is the annoying kid from the Polar Express.
Oh,
And she plays the boyfriend, but still has the dress on from when she was Playboy version. It's haunting. I can't express how like you had any appreciation of this movie, you got to see Critters 2. It's bananas. It's also an Easter film. Um,
of course.
like
Yeah.
the
Why
centerpiece of
else would
the
they
film
find those
is
eggs?
that's exactly it. That
That's
is the
good.
catalyst of the story. They find these eggs and they start handing them out as Easter gifts.
God, that's
It's
crazy.
it's amazing. I love it. And they play with like the bounty hunter stuff in really kind of clever ways. It's good. Brad is still the main character, but he's the only one that came back. They completely recast the sheriff. Um, and but yeah, it's a good sequel. Weirdly, if you look at like the Rotten Tomatoes, the first one has like the fresh, and then the second one has like a pretty negative review. Audiences are completely flipped on that. Most people would say Critters 2 is the best of the franchise, and in a lot of ways, I agree. I think it's certainly the most watchable.
I enjoyed that one a lot more than the
Yeah,
first one. It definitely leans way more into the camp. There's a lot more kills in it as well, which showcases some of the really fun little practical effects, like the red skeleton on the ground. There's lots of like arms that, someone disappears in the woods and then they go looking for them, and there's just like an arm laying on the ground. Um, all kinds of great stuff. The Easter theme is fantastic. Um,
you've
I
never
thought it
seen
was way funnier as well. Yeah.
yeah, you've never seen an Easter bunny get repeatedly hit in the balls by critters and then eaten alive from the inside out. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And then crash through the church window while the pastor's in the middle of the sermon talking about,
Yeah, like
yeah,
Terminator style. He just comes lunging through the.
So they
in the
destroy a
bunny
church
suit.
in that movie.
What was that?
They destroy a church in that movie too.
Yeah, there's an
Racist specific.
interesting,
Do they
a lot
hate
of church
religion?
destruction.
2 movies in a
It's
row where
about
they
Jesus.
destroy a
Mm.
church. That's funny.
Um, the third movie is straight to video. The second movie bombed massively at the box office. It caught the fourth one. The first one was such a success. The second one, they spent $4.5 million to make, and it made less than 4 million at the box office. So it
Wow.
like hard died, but it did really good in its home video release. So they made two films back to back to wrap up the franchise straight to video. The third one is relatively atmospheric. It's directed by a woman who I believe was her first film, but she makes good use of her tight budget. It's set in the city, like in a high rise apartment building that they could only afford 3 floors for, so it's not really a high rise. Um, but you're made to believe it is. And the only reason that movie has had any lasting legacy is because it's the first film of Leonardo DiCaprio. So this franchise launched the careers of half of the cast of Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio and Billy Zane. Um, so, fun facts. But I think the third one is pretty good. It's certainly the scariest of the bunch, but the budget on the critter effects goes way down. So it's more atmospheric, is how it gets kind of creepy. The fourth one is it, they're all the same runtime. They're all like 89 minutes or something like that. The fourth one somehow feels like it's 2.5 hours long. It's the longest, most grueling experience of your life. It it takes Charlie and thrusts him about 50 years in the future. I think it was 70 years from when they made it. It's like in the year 2050 or something like that. And the critters don't show up until over an hour into the movie. And there's only two of them. And they have, there's only like two people that die. It's just long as hell. and yet somehow this film starred Brad Dourif and Angela Bassett. So it has like really, really good acting for a shithole piece of garbage movie.
There was two
That was
critters in
so
it.
bad
One
it
of them
killed
was
the
called
franchise.
Critter.
Yeah, oh, it's so bad, like indescribably bad. And the worst part is, the rock star guy. He and Charlie are the only two that are in all the films. Ugg, in the fourth one, does a heel turn that's not explained, where you find out he's the bad guy the whole time and is trying to prevent the death of the critters. It's not explained, and Charlie just shoots him in the head. The only explanation is he looks at Charlie and he's like, "People change," and then he's like, "You're right, people do change," and then he shoots him. Um, so, Critters 4 died in 1992, and then almost 30 years went by, and then in 2019 we got a twofer. We got a movie and a TV show, and they both came out the same year, months apart from each other, um, and they are awful in the most interesting ways. I'm going to start with the movie. The movie Critters Attack is a legacy sequel that brings Dee Wallace back, um, but she can't say that she's the mom. They call her Grandma D or Auntie D or something like that, which is not her name. And she makes some allusion to the fact that she had a different name once, and that's kind of it. But she's a legacy sequel character who is now a bounty hunter and is hunting the critters down. And the critters are here because the critter queen has been taken. And the critter queen is a beautiful white critter who has like long, flashy eyelashes and is weirdly, insanely cute. Like, I want one. Uh, if this movie had been more successful, that would have been the new Baby Yoda. Um, it's adorable. Um, but that movie is so bad. It's rated R, so you do get some pretty gnarly kills in it. One man who's taking a shower mistakes one for a loofah and starts rubbing it on his face and chest, and then it just starts eating him.
Okay.
Um, but that one is indescribably bad and really boring. The one that is the most important piece of Critters media to date is Critters: A New Binge. This was a Shutter film that was re-edited into 10 or 8 to 10 minute shorts. So like a TV show. And it is the craziest thing in the world. It is from the director of Zombievers. Um,
Oh,
so
Hey, don't
you know
forget
what
the drone. He did that classic as well.
this dude. I'm gonna watch everything he's ever made because
Good luck with the drone.
this changed my life. So you're following two characters, a son and a mother, and the mother's only characteristic is that she is, as the show calls her, a whore, and the son
okay.
overeats, and they're just constantly making fun of the fact that he overeats, and that's his entire character. And there's a town hot dog eating contest that is happening, and his friend is trying to talk him into going, and he's like, "No, everybody already makes fun of me because I eat too much anyway." And so like this strings on for several episodes, but the girl he likes kind of wants him to join it too, so he's like, "Yeah, maybe I can eat hot dogs." And so this goes on for 6 episodes. Meanwhile, in the background of the story, the critter president, who has a suit and tie and
Oh,
looks like a critter, he is going to Earth because of the critter that was left behind, or the Krite. So he and a crew of like critters go and they're tearing through this town trying to find this lost critter. and they find like the boy's uh like stepdad, played by Gilbert Gottfried. uh
Oh, oh
he has
man.
a pet owl, and they think that might be the lost critter. So they like try to get that, but then they're like, nah, let's just eat it. So they eat the owl. And this is also a bloodthirsty movie that's rated R. A lot of violence. um well, the critters kind of like form like around the friend group, and they're gonna like kidnap them. And meanwhile, the mom who's sleeping around with like the pizza guy, I believe, you find out the pizza guy is an undercover bounty hunter to hunt the critters. And he goes, and she's like, let's go save my son. So they go to save the son. But then the bounty hunter turns on the kid and starts trying to kill the kid. And that's when the critters abduct the humans, and they're taken into space. The last two episodes are pure art and cinema. Episode 7 starts with the revelation of the president talking to the young boy and being um, uh, like, you don't know how you got here, do you? And then he's like, yeah, you abducted me. And he's like, no, I mean like how you got here. And then it flashes back to the critter president and his mother
Oh my
having
god.
an affair, and he is the love child of a critter. And the boy's like,
That's
is it,
why he eats all the time. Oh my god.
that's why he eats all the time. And then he's like, is that why I have false teeth? And he takes out like the teeth, and he has like just rows of teeth in his mouth. And then he's like, is that why I have to have these drops in my eyes? And then like his eyes go all red. And uh, so then the bounty hunter starts attacking people down at like the hot dog eating contest. So the boy, the friend group, and the critters go to fight the bounty hunters, but then the critters start eating the people as well. So this boy is caught in the crosshairs, and so he's fighting the critters and killing them, and he's also fighting the bounty hunters by shooting quills out of his back and rolling around on the ground like a critter.
This sounds awesome.
I can't express how amazing this is. Like, I fell in love with how bad this was. This is the perfect levels of bad and what this movie deserved to be. Which
Well,
leads me into, yes, go ahead.
so in this movie, the first movie, they like kind of show that if they eat food, they get bigger. Do they not do that anymore in the other movies?
Only happens in the first movie.
Okay. Because I'd be like, how do they would just be like planet sized, but how would they revert? Do they revert over time, or what happens? But so that implies that the president is a tiny little fuzzball.
Yes. The
That's
president
messed up.
is like this
That's
big
messed up.
That
with a suit and tie.
That's messed up. That's crazy.
And none of the puppetry looks as good as it did in the first movie.
Nice.
I feel like you secretly just wanted to talk about this, like not the first.
this whole
He wanted to
If I
talk
had
about this
known.
new one.
If I had known about this, if I hadn't watched this just 1 week ago, this is what we would have been talking
oh
about. Because yeah, I couldn't. Spoiler alerts, everybody, for Critters new binge.
I just explained every movie in the franchise. Spoiler.
All right. Do you think this movie could get away with a remake? I mean, certainly not by those two. Although I would like to see the Zombievers guy getting up there. But do you think this movie could benefit from like a modern remake? Because I personally think there's enough there that would probably make it work if you balance the right tone. Find somebody who's actually funny to write the script.
It couldn't be like a. It would have to be like kind of a newer. Yeah, it wouldn't be like a 1-to-1 remake, right?
yeah.
It would have to be like Evil Dead remake,
Yeah,
but funny.
Yeah,
yeah,
I could see that direction. So, like, I don't want to say gritty and realistic, but kind of more gritty, realistic critters. Um, it'd be kind of hard to remake just because it is so like of the time, like Goonies, Gremlins, the '80s sense of adventure. I think. Um, I don't know if that appeals to the youth of today.
If you
I mean,
remake it, they should
Stranger
just
Things
focus on
lasted for
the
10
Charlie
years.
character.
I think a full horror could do it. I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
I think I agree. It'd be hard to do it as like its current thing, but an Evil Dead kind of just pure horror. I think that could work.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think you have to do one direction or the other. Make it full funny or full. And I guess I've seen that version now.
Yeah, you've got the sequels that are already like full campy, so I'd be more interested in
Go the
seeing
other
a
way.
full horror.
Maybe
Yeah,
like a Krampus type situation, because that was a little funny, but it was also kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think if you got like James Gunn or somebody involved like Drew Goddard, you could probably find the balance. Um, Matthew Daughtry, that was who did the Krampus and Trick or Treat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he could do it.
Yeah.
All right. Unless do you have anything else you want to say before I move into fun facts and trivia? All right. Fun facts and trivia we already did kind of cover. This was made in response or greenlit in response to Gremlins, though written years prior and weirdly uh, rewritten to soften its connections. Um, Terrence Mann performs the song Power of the Night throughout the film. Terrence Mann, who absolutely sells the rock star energy, he came from Broadway. He was the originating role of Rum Tum Tugger in Cats on Broadway.
Uh,
Um, so that kind of mutes his cool. uh, the critter fur was made from real moose hide, which
I
proved
think
to
you're saying
be
from real
too.
critters.
made for real.
No, it was made with real moose hide, which was a little too thick for full mobility and articulation. So they were forced to blend it with merkins, the local American body store. Are you guys familiar with what merkins are? They are pelvic wigs.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Perfect.
Um, and my last fun fact is that a critter eats an ET stuffy, the mom of which in this and in ET was played by Dee Wallace. Um, how many critter balls are we giving this movie? I'll start. I give this movie 3.5 out of 5 critter balls. I think it is good for its time, kind of above average of the genre that it was participating in. It has enough neat ideas in it that I can fuck with, but and it has good acting, particularly from Scott Grimes. However, is not bloodthirsty enough to kind of really sell the horror as an adult, but is a good primer for kids. I think it's a soft pass. Mike, you can go next.
I'm gonna say 2 out of 5. Um, just because with what we have now and coming out in the movie theater and watching this, I was just like, oh, this is a hard sell for me. If I was watching with other people, I think it'd be more fun because we could kind of just laugh at it. But solo, not entertaining enough for me to give it a very good recommendation here.
That's fair. Alex, you go next.
I'd also give it a 3 out of 5 or 3.5 out of 5, same as you, Matt. For once you had me on where I agree with you on a take. I think it's good for the time. Like, yeah, I also agree that it's there's other movies, modern that just do it better, but for what it was, and I find it like a pretty good, competently made film, and I can almost find enjoyment in lots of films for what it's trying to do.
Very cool. And Jenna.
I'm going to be a 3 out of 5. It's, again, right. It's on the more positive side of middle of the road. There was just enough in it. That was fun. I don't know if I would rewatch it. Certainly not recently. It would have to be another like 20 years, and then we'll try it again. And then maybe at that point, get enjoyment out of it again. I think it would get tiring too quickly to rewatch it. But I do want to rewatch the second one, and I would give that one 4 out of 5 post balls.
Right on.
And then now I have to check out the last 2 episodes of that TV show because that sounds absolutely incredible.
Absolutely insane. Yeah, right on. Well, I have you here, I guess. So Critters 1, 3.5. Critters 2, I'd also give 3.5. Critters 3, I'd also give 3.5. Critters 4 gets like 1.5 because Angela Bassett and Brad Dourif do try somehow. Critters Attack gets 1.5, and I'd give 4 stars to Critters. I instantly went on Amazon to see if I could buy it, and it's the only Critters property that doesn't have a physical release, which is a damn shame. And Shudder also disowned it and sold it to 2 people.
Shudder disowned it.
They didn't know what they had on their hands.
No,
Yeah, they have at least one person that wants to watch it.
I'm genuinely thinking of reaching out to the filmmaker and be like, dude, if I can get this on physical, I will free tickets to a movie.
Wow, free tickets.
But yeah, I loved that. Anyway, thank you for joining us for our Critter podcast. This was voted on by the fans. You guys chose this as the cult 80s movie for us to cover, and I hope we didn't bash it too much because that's always awkward. The last time I did a fan voted one, I also bashed on that movie.
Which was
Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is better than Dracula, though that movie is really pretty. But our next Why We Horror podcast episode, hitting in about a month's time, will be covering Scream 3. We've covered all the Scream movies thus far, and now it's time to hit the 3rd entry. But thanks for watching, everybody. I'll have you on, hopefully, for a better movie next time. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye.